Nebraska did it. They successfully pulled off their biggest recruiting weekend in nearly a quarter century. And so far, it sounds like it went as good as Husker fans could have asked. The first thing we always want to make sure on these big visit weekends is that the names on the preview list actually made it to campus and were confirmed. And guess what? We got good news. The 3 number ones at their position, they made it to campus. Number 1 QB, Dylan Raiola. Number 1 defensive lineman, Williams Winery. And number 1 offensive tackle, Brandon Baker. They were all in Lincoln, Nebraska over the weekend. And it sounds like this was just a win within itself, having these guys on campus. And the returns were great. Husker Online caught up with 5-star offensive tackle Brandon Baker. He was in Lincoln from California. Baker's ranked as the number 1 offensive tackle in the class. Also in attendance was 4-star wide receiver Ryan Wingo, one of the most electric wideouts in the country, ranked number 5 overall at his position. And he was also really impressed with his time on campus. This is great, and this is the first step in landing an elite class. You got to get them on campus. You're not going to land elite prospects without getting them on campus first. So Nebraska checked that box this weekend. The second step to landing an elite class is getting a premier QB committed early and building around that. Who's the premier QB? Well, for Nebraska, it's Dylan Raiola. And that said, if Nebraska is going to put together an elite class, I think Dylan Raiola needs to commit to the Huskers before summer begins. Now, you're probably asking, why does Dylan Raiola need to commit before summer starts? Well, that's in order to maximize the potential of Nebraska's recruiting class. I feel Dylan Raiola needs to be committed and helping the Huskers recruit by the start of summer. I'm not saying that Nebraska is going to have a bad class if this doesn't happen, but what I am saying is Nebraska will not maximize the potential of this class had they had Raiola committed early. If he's on the board in the spring, that means they can start building elite guys around him, getting them on campus, getting visits scheduled for the summer for some of these elite prospects. But it's spring right now, and QBs are coming off the board, and more will be coming off in the coming weeks. The reason for that is because every class in America right now is built around the QB. This concept is even more important for a program like Nebraska that needs to rebuild the entire roster through recruiting. If Dylan Raiola goes to USC or Georgia, it's not nearly as important if he commits early. Those classes will build themselves with or without a premier QB in this class. Last cycle, USC landed stud QB 5-star Malachi Nelson. In Georgia, well, Georgia's Georgia. They're going to build a class no matter what. But Nebraska, they need Dylan Raiola. But they also need a lot more, and the best way to do that is to get Raiola on the commit list early. I'm not saying Nebraska's chances go down for Raiola if he doesn't commit by summer, but I am saying their chances to maximize the potential of the 2024 class will go down. And unless something changes soon, I don't think Raiola is in the mood to announce during the spring. He's set 1 official visit so far, and that's to Georgia on June 2nd. Right now, that's the only official visit he's set, and I do believe he's going to take more. So read into that how you will, but it says to me that Dylan Raiola's recruitment will still be wide open when the summer recruiting months start, and Nebraska will have to keep recruiting the top prospects in America just without the help of having a 5-star QB on that commit list. Thank you for watching. Make sure you smash that subscribe button for me, and remember to check out all the videos on the On3 YouTube page.